Hi, I'm Tweed Roosevelt, CEO of the Theodore Roosevelt Association. I hope you'll join us for our 98th annual meeting of the TRA on Saturday, October 28th in New York City. This year, we'll be exploring Theodore Roosevelt's time as police commissioner in New York City and how he revolutionized American policing. The meeting, as they would have said back then, is going to be a real doozy. But before I get into the details of this wonderful program we've got lined up for you, let me tell you a little bit about our host venue, the Harvard Club of New York. The Harvard Club was founded in 1865 and moved into its current location in 1894. The building was designed by Charles McKim of McKim, Mead & White. This name might be familiar to you because it's the same firm that supervised the renovation of the White House when TR was president. That reminds me of a story about TR and the Harvard Club. When he was a much older man, he was sitting having dinner when a friend of his, Senator Lodge, came up and brought a man to meet him. TR looked at the man, and the man said to him, "I've met you in the past, sir." And TR said, "Wait a minute, let me think." And he looked very carefully at him, and then he said, "I see smoke around your head." "Ah, I've got it. I remember when I was running for governor of New York, I was on a campaign train, whistle stopping. At the end of the trip, I went up to the engine and asked to see the crew so I could thank them for what they did for me. And you were there. You were a teenager, but you were there and I never knew your name, sir." Boy, if you had that kind of memory, you too could be president. As you can see, the club is beautiful, historic, and a magnificent location for this year's meeting. Our symposium will be an interesting mix of history and real-world applications of law enforcement strategies. We'll open our symposium with stories about TR's colorful tenure as police commissioner, told by the man who can tell these stories best, Richard Zacks, author of the best-selling Island of Ice, TR's doomed quest to clean up sin-loving New York. Next, we will have a panel of modern police commissioners who all worked in big U.S. cities. Bill Bratton served in Boston, L.A., and New York. Jimmy O'Neill in New York, and Ed Davis in Boston during the famous Boston Marathon bombing. Their insights on modern policing will be extremely interesting and enlightening. The panel will be moderated by John Miller, who heads up NYPD's intelligence and counterterrorism units. He is also a senior correspondent for CBS News. Then we'll bring these stories down to the present as we examine the long shadow of TR with a panel of currently serving police officers. They will tell us how TR's innovations are still relevant today in the trenches. Building on that theme, we will move to a brief talk on a little-known current effect of TR on the national psyche, the nexus of the NYC crime fighters Batman and Theodore Roosevelt. So a little bit of Gotham in fact and fiction. The morning will conclude with speeches by the winners of the high school public speaking contest. The competition is always fierce, and the speeches that come out on top are just spectacular. This is always a favorite of our members. The elegant annual dinner will be held at the Harvard Club as well. The cocktail hour will feature drinks, of course, and a silent auction. During dinner, we will have a live auction with TR-related items, including maybe a flag from the USS Theodore Roosevelt, a special inside tour of Sagamore Hill led by yours truly, a very special challenge coin, and more. The keynote speaker, Bill Bratton, known as the Dean of American Policing, will expound upon his experiences leading the police departments in Boston, LA, and New York. He was responsible for revolutionizing modern law enforcement by instituting such innovations as community-based policing and professionalizing the police forces. As always, there will be awards. We will honor the USS Theodore Roosevelt Junior Officer of the Year and recognize a long-term member of the TRA for exemplary service to the organization. Plus, this year, we will have our first ever annual TR Book Prize. The winner has not yet been chosen, but there is a great lineup of books published in 2016. Good books on TR just keep coming. He's like Lincoln, interest in him doesn't end. So join us at the Harvard Club in New York on October 28, 2017. You can find registration information on our website, theodoroosevelt.org. As TR would say, this is gonna be a bully meeting.